In this video, we will analyze how the booster bot visually perceives the chart and how, literally after an hour of working with the booster bot, you can determine when there will be a level breakout, when there will be a rebound, and when the price will go higher or lower. In general, you will be able to learn to work even without the booster bot. Let's look at its visual component and what it is responsible for. Let's open the first trade on the currency pair Euro-Swiss franc and see what the booster bot says. I switch to the booster bot. I activate it and select the currency pair Euro-Swiss franc, setting the time frame to 1 minute. I receive a sell signal and open a sell trade right from here. Let's analyze what's happening on the chart. Firstly, there is a level below that we are most likely going to break, or rather, definitely according to my rules. Since we can observe that we had one, a touch, we had two touches, and now the third touch, right after which we can expect such a movement. Secondly, why did the booster bot issue a sell signal? Because we have an overall downward movement, and accordingly, our trade is opened in line with the trend. Regarding the entry point, there isn't one as such here. That is, we simply enter on the breakout of the lower level, which I have just marked. There are moments when we, on the contrary, use the entry point as the main factor, but there are moments when we do not use the entry point, but use a tool like a magnet. For example, like this one, the level, and we can open either earlier or later. In any case, the price will give a good impulse. And as you can see, the first trade closes in profit, and let's open the next trade for a larger amount, for example, $800. And again, let's try to guess where the price will go in relation to the level. Here we have a currency pair, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. I mark the first level, that the price has already passed, and I mark a lower level, that the price has not yet reached. So there are two possible scenarios here. The price can break through this level and go higher, or it can go to break the lower level. Let's imagine that I'm a beginner and I don't know where the price will go, so I switch back to the booster bot. I choose the currency pair US dollar, Canadian dollar, and set the trade time to 1 minute. And I receive a sell signal, and I open a sell trade right from here. This means that the price will now break this level. And why did this happen? Yes, if I were a beginner, I wouldn't immediately understand where to open a trade. But with the booster bot, you can learn quite well. And you need to look at the following factors. Let's analyze how the price behaved here. We had an overall downward movement. After that, the price reached this level, which we call the volume. Accordingly, it stopped here, and after these two stops, as we can observe on the chart, after such stops, we have an impulsive movement. Accordingly, after all these stops, we went down, and with the help of BoosterBot, you can learn quite well doing analysis. Yes, it's not mandatory, but it's a very good skill. You don't need a professional mentor, although we do have such mentors in our team. You can do it yourself with the booster bot, but it will be a bit harder. By the way, I want to remind you that this bot is available to all our subscribers on the Telegram channel, so go ahead right now. Subscribe to our Telegram channel and activate the booster bot. This bot is available to you right now, You just need to follow the link in the description and activate this money-making machine. This deal closes in profit. And let's talk a little how booster bot works and why its deals close in profit 80% of the time. The very first factor is the news background. It's no secret that every day we have financial news that, in one way or another, affects the market. If you didn't know, these are events that can create a huge candle like this, and accordingly pull the entire market along with it. These are precisely the financial news, and BoosterBot is capable of analyzing news. We trained it for a long time to perform this analysis, so we can rely on it. And for example, when some news comes out and we don't know what the percentage will be, just to give an example. If for the currency pair euro-dollar, bad news came out for the euro and the percentages turned out to be lower than we expected. Well, for example, if such a financial rate is released, we immediately see a sharp drop in the entire asset, and BoosterBot can calculate this, can predict it, and accordingly, we will profit from this movement. If on the contrary good percentages are released, everything remains stable for us. In the market, then BoosterBot will predict such an impulsive upward movement. And this is actually quite easy. It just requires some practice. You can even do this analysis on your own, but it will take a bit longer and be a bit more difficult. In general, the very first factor is the analysis of the news background. Then we didn't stop there. It now has 94 premium indicators. If I add too many indicators to the chart, then we won't be able to see the chart itself. And accordingly, it will be a complete mess. But for the booster bot, this is good because it's all numbers, and it calculates mathematical values precisely, where the price will go, what the volumes are. It's all mathematics, so you can be at ease about that. In general, with the booster bot, you can confidently learn trading because it won't let you down. Yes, there are times when the market is calm, allowing us to learn and analyze together with the booster bot. But if it's to a strong news background, then we won't be able to learn. We can only earn because the market will already be uncontrollable. Let's switch to the Euro-Swiss franc currency pair and try to profit from it. I select the same currency pair in BoosterBot. The time for the trade is 1 minute. and I receive a signal to sell. And right from here, I open a sell trade. As you can see, we have a level below. But why? Did BoosterBot give a signal to go down now, even though it seems like the price is starting to rise? Let me explain. We have another price level above. This will be the resistance level. We can even mark it in red, and below we have a support level. The lower level will support the price and accordingly prevent it from going down, while the red one, on the contrary, will press on the price from above and not let it go higher. In general, the price is stuck in such a corridor. And what should be done in such a case? In this case, we work from the upper boundary to the lower boundary, and the booster bot reads this perfectly. If we look, it indeed was like that. Here we have a touch of the upper boundary, the price goes down, bounces off the lower one and goes up. And so the price forms a zigzag pattern. It moves in a sideways motion, which the booster bot also reads perfectly. So here we also didn't have an entry point. We just had a direction towards the lower boundary. And as you can see, $670 are added to my balance very confidently. Well, for now, a small announcement. In the near future, we are expecting a very major update to the booster bot. And to be among the first to profit from all this and the update, make sure to subscribe to our Telegram channel because only the first users will be able to gain the maximum benefit. So be sure to subscribe and keep up with all the news. Big updates are coming soon. Now I choose the euro-dollar currency pair. Here, everything is much more difficult. Here we can see several levels that are located above, in the middle, and below. In general, this is where real chaos begins for a beginner. And let's see how the booster bot handles this situation now. For this, we choose the euro-dollar currency pair and set the trade time to 1 minute. And we get a buy signal. Excellent. I open a buy trade right from here. What this means for me now is that we have entered a breakout of this level, and accordingly, the booster bot has noticed it. Either there is potential for upward movement, or there are not enough large volumes here to hold the price, and we entered on the breakout. Or on the contrary, there are too large volumes in this movement to go up now, and accordingly, confidently break through this line, this horizontal level, resistance. Let's observe and at the same time answer the question of whether I am right and whether booster bot is right. As you can see, the level turned out to be stronger and the price rebounded. Unfortunately, this also happens, so now I want to cover this trade with $1,500 and try again to open a trade on the currency pair. Again, a buy signal. I'm opening a buy trade right from here, and now I have only one assumption as to why BoosterBot has issued a buy signal now. If we look, the price has bounced off this boundary and moved down, and now from the previous trade, we remember that the price should move upwards. That is, I can now say that we have a very large volume here, specifically at these price levels. And from this volume, like on a trampoline, we enter it and should bounce higher. Let's observe. In theory, we are expecting a very good impulsive growth. Yes, as you can see, indeed a very impulsive growth, but here's an interesting factor. Will we have enough volume now to break through the upper level? Or not? I made a good profit from this trade, and overall, working with the booster bot is very easy and simple. And by the way, for the second time, we again didn't have the strength to break through this level. If you want to learn even more about the booster bot, then be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to our Telegram channel. And if you want to get this bot for yourself, then right now, follow the link in the description and activate this robot. I will leave the link in the description and in the pinned comment. As you can see, trading and learning trading is much easier than it used to be. Here we have artificial intelligence. We don't need to do a lot of analysis. We just need to choose a currency pair, select the time, receive a signal, and enter in the direction of the signal. For any questions, contact our support account. With that, I will take my leave. See you soon.